Welcome to the channel, first of all. Thanks for your time, and we'll have a bit of a chat and see. So, first of all, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yes, absolutely. So my name is Anne-Linda. That's a Norwegian double name. So I am obviously from Norway. I live in a city called Bergen on the west coast. A very nice city. I have been drumming since I was 15. I'm not going to tell you my age exactly, but I've been drumming for some time.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So actually now I'm a full-time drummer. I do this full-time. So it's exciting. I've been doing that for the past 5 years, and I started like right before COVID hit. So it's been a rough patch, I'd say. Yeah, but it's the development's been good, and a little rough patch now as well, I think, because a lot of gigs got cancelled this year. But I'm still going strong, and yeah. So I'm also teaching. I'm a drum teacher. I also teach online, obviously, as you know, and so I try to do other things than just also performance, and yeah. So yeah, I guess that's me in general.
So that's great. So who do you drum for at the moment? What do you drum?
Well, I'm a freelance drummer, so I will drum for anyone who hires me. Mostly I play at Christian conferences. That's like what I do the most. But I play a very broad genre of music. I play everything from like pop, EDM kind of stuff to heavy metal. And everything in between, basically. So everything from hitting with the brushes, like you showed me, and to the really to really hit it hard, playing double bass pedal, and so I guess for the past 2 years I've been trying to really get into heavy metal, because I know that playing that genre, it improves your technique heaps, and your speed and endurance and everything, basically. So I've been really diving into that, and I have this band called Blood Sacrifice, and we have been at it for a couple of years now, and we played our first concert just a few weeks ago. So and that's a heavy metal band. So I do that in addition to the freelancing. Yeah. So and I travel a lot. I travel all over Norway and also Europe sometimes. So yeah, it's been good. It's exciting.
You just come back from a tour, yes?
Yes, that's right. We went to Svalbard. That's the northern point of Norway. It's almost in the Arctic. Almost the Arctic, actually. It's the northern most northern settlement in the world, or at least one of them. And then we went from there and all the way down the Norwegian coastline, which is very long by a ship. Or by yeah. So that was I've been playing my way from the most northern point in the world almost until to here where I live now. So that was really amazing.
That'd be exhausting too, wouldn't it? So and yeah, always on the go. Did you at least have people helping you set up?
Actually, I had to do everything myself. Yeah. So this was a low key thing, and not much gear required. It was mostly acoustic, and it was a closed event also. But I always unfortunately have to do my own build my own drum kit and carry everything myself, and it's as you know, as a drummer, it's so. I wish I was super famous and I had people to do everything for me, but unfortunately, I'm not there yet.
With the now speaking about the build up and then take down of the drums, Yamaha, they've got the lightweight series for all the hardware. And like I haven't got that, but for small little things, I think that would be a really good thing, maybe to have a look at, and because very light, everything's very, very easy and accessible.
Yeah.
And you can throw it around everywhere. It's not too heavy.
Yeah, that's really great. I love those kind of lightweight drum kits. So I actually have a video with the low volume drum kits that I travel with. So I do that actually quite a lot. Play at small venues with more simple gear. So I have spent a lot of time trying to figure out, like, okay, what gear can I use that it's not too heavy, not too much. How can I fit everything into 2 suitcases to bring on the plane, and things like that. So I've been doing that for quite a long time. So so if people watching are into low volume drumming and they need the travel kits to go around with, then you should check out that video. We could probably link to it.
I'll put all the links in the description.
Yeah.
So from your band and whatever you can send me, I'll put in the links.
Yeah.
And and hopefully a lot more people have a look. And so right. So who can you tell me who influenced you the most in drumming?
Yeah. So I guess back in the days it was like the more classic drummers that like you Vinnie Colaiuta and Mike Portnoy and those names that has been around for a long time. Obviously listening to a lot of recordings with Steve Smith and all those famous drummers that everyone knows, and probably we are all influenced by them to an extent. But more recently, I started to watch a lot of videos on Drumeo. That's online drumming, online education, and I took some courses there because when COVID hit, then I couldn't travel and tour, and I spent heaps of time behind the drum kit, and it was actually amazing for me to get to study drumming in a way that I'd never had a chance to do, and build my way up from level 1 until 10 and just take this method. And then I discovered some new drummers, and they have influenced my playing much more because I kind of spent time with them on videos, watching videos. So that would be actually a female drummer. She's her name is Domino Sant'Antonio. You know her, right? Yeah, she's very big on the internet, and her drumming, like she plays simple, but what comes out, it's so groovy, it's so alive, and the way she plays, the way she moves, I was so encouraged and inspired by that. So I try to really adopt the way she moves, and also to and that you can play simple, but still it comes out so awesome. And then there is a drummer also called Michael Schack. I don't know if you have heard of him. He's from Belgium, I think. He's an EDM drummer, and that's really like not my style. But the thing is that he is so amazing, and he can do any style, and the way he incorporates other styles into his EDM drumming is just amazing, and he inspired me so much. So I took all his courses and tried to adopt also the way, some of the feels and the principle that he's using, and also that he's so tight. It's super tight. It's like this drumming machine, but he's still alive in a way. Yeah. And also I have taken Todd Zuckerman's courses. Don't know.
I know him. Yep.
Yeah, from Styx.
Yeah.
He's also amazing. He's an amazing teacher, and his arsenal it's just so broad, and so he has also inspired me a lot. So I guess those 3, but also like heaps of female drummers. You were mentioning Jen Ledger. She's amazing. I loved her for years. And also I think Hannah Ford. She played with Prince. Hannah Welton is her name now. Yeah, Hannah Ford Welton. She's also amazing, and she played with Prince, and so there are many female drummers that are also very well known that you guys probably know, and
Well, this is Annika Knowles from Germany as well. Annika.
Oh yeah, I love her. Yeah, she's amazing.
Yes. So she's fantastic, and obviously we covered Jen Ledger and also Emma Taylor. You know, we spoke about her before.
She's one of my
I was happy I was able to get her. I was happy to have her on the channel, and it's great. It's like I said before, we're always learning, we're always evolving, and we always pick up different techniques of stick control, things like that. There's like you don't know unless you look for it. You know, so simple things like where to hit the hi-hats. You know, I mean, most drummers just hit the edge when they first start. You know, and then it's always the same level, whack, 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 and there's no rhythm to it, and so now it's like you use it sort of
Yeah, you use that. Yeah, yeah, that's so good
So
that can
it
enhances
gives,
the drumming, really.
it does, and it also gives the song a bit of time to breathe as well. So you're not just smashing things together and hope the song can get through. So yeah. So can you tell me about your drums that you use, the main set
Hmm.
for your heavy metal band? That'd probably be a good start.
Yeah, yeah. So the thing is that I use so many different drum kits. It depends on the gig. So a lot of low volume stuff, but I can cover that after. But so for the heavy metal, the thing is that we are using a rehearsal space or renting a rehearsal space for that. So that then there is a pro kit in that room, and to be honest, it's horrible. So that's just what I'm using for that. And when I play live, I had to actually borrow a kit from my church, which is not good either. I think that's a cheap pearl export, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is that I have a good pearl all maple kit, but that is in another city where I used to live. And when we moved to Bergen, I couldn't bring it with me. So now I'm practicing a Roland a digital kit, which is
Hmm.
absolutely not ideal, but I live in an apartment downtown, so it's my only opportunity. I guess most drummers can relate. If you live in an apartment, you have
Yes.
to use that. So it's for practicing and not for using on the stage. So right
Yeah.
now, I feel that I lack a good drum kit, an acoustic
Mm.
drum kit that I can play metal on, because I use low volume kits mostly because I travel a lot and I play at smaller venues and more acoustic sounding gigs mostly. So that's what I use when I travel. So the low volume gear is like my main thing.
Yeah.
So if I will keep on playing metal, and that we will have more concerts with that band, and then I think I need to buy myself a new drum kit that fit the purpose. Yeah, but I do have
Uh,
some cymbals though.
yeah. What symbols do you use?
So I am a fan of pasty cymbals, but I
Yeah.
also like Siljan. But the thing is that I have discovered the dream cymbals. Are you familiar with those?
No. No.
They are awesome, and they are not too expensive. If we're talking about prices, then
Hmm.
they are maybe 1/3 of the pasty cymbals, and in my opinion, they are equally good. They're really awesome. Of course,
Hmm.
cymbals are a matter of taste, and it depends on the setting, and every drummer is different, and all this. But still, they are
Yeah.
very good. They're versatile, and they are cheap. And I'm like, wow! I have this 15-inch hi-hat, and I love it. It's amazing. And I have two recordings in the studio with that hi-hat, and I can, when I listen to the recordings, I'm like, oh, wow, that hi-hat is it's so good. I can hear it through the recording. That I just love the sound of it. It's very very unique. So yeah.
Yeah. I've all mine is pasty.
Hmm.
So all my symbols, and I've got some like the Iron Maiden sets. That's a
Cool.
hi-hat, the 14 ones, 14-inch, the boomer,
I
which
haven't
has
tried
got
those.
some parts on it. So there's those ones. But the majority of my symbols here, 602s.
Oh yes, I love that series. It's great. It's great. They are
Yeah.
very versatile, but not so good for metal.
Yes, yeah, I mean they're a great sounding cymbal.
Mm.
A nice sustain. They're just they sound fantastic. And so I've got the 17-inch one, 15-inch hi-hats,
Mm.
602, and
Nice.
a 22-inch ride.
Fantastic.
So
I would love to buy those cymbals. I have the Dark Energy series in pasty, and it's awesome. I love it, but I also love the 602 series. It's amazing. But
yeah,
the drum
that,
kit
that
behind you, what brand is your drum kit?
so that's Mapex.
Uh-huh.
So Mapex,
Mm-hmm.
because obviously I like Iron Maiden, so I can't find a 6-inch tom, but so I've got the 8, 10, 12, 14, 16
Mm, cool.
in the toms.
Mm-hmm.
The 22-inch, obviously, kick drum.
Mhm.
At the moment, I've got the Chris
Mhm.
Adler snare, the Chris Adler from Lamb of God.
Okay. Oh
He's
yeah,
got
yeah,
his
yeah.
own
Oh,
snare.
awesome, awesome.
So that's a 12 by 5.5-inch snare.
Mhm.
So very small, but a lot of crack to it.
Wow,
So
that's cool.
um,
Yeah, snare drums, they are so important. I have a Benny Greb signature snare.
oh
So
wow, yes,
yeah, that's a good one. I love it. It's very versatile. You can tune it deep or more high pitched, and it's very, yes, a lot of crack to it. And I like a tight snare drum with a lot of
yes.
crack. Yeah.
Well, I've got 12 snare drums that
Wow,
I just keep rotating through.
come on,
Um, I've
amazing.
got one here. This is most of mine are all Mapex. This is a huge Black Panther. Um, that's a really nice snare drum.
Mm.
Um, so it's got a real nice crack to it again, but it's a lower tuning.
Mm-hmm.
So if I do something for the German club, I would use this one.
Mm.
So for the more Schlager music,
Mm.
I don't know what you call it in English. It's Schlager music.
Okay.
So yeah, so I've got that. I have a 14-inch by 7.5-inch Mapex. That's another one of my favourites. I have
Mm.
steel ones. I have a bronze hammered. They're all in the other room. So
Wow, you have a lot of gear. That's
yeah,
amazing. So do you play heavy metal, by the way? You
I tried to play heavy metal. I just did an Ozzy Osbourne cover, but that's a ballad.
okay.
Um, it's obviously not the best. I'm learning all the recording things. I've got all the recording stuff, and I'm still learning all that. But it takes a lot. It takes a lot to learn. What has to go up and what has to go down.
Mm.
How much reverb, how much compression. I'm not an audio engineer at all. But yeah, it takes a long time. It takes a long time for me,
Oh yeah.
because I've got no formal training. The only training I have is from the two drummers, and that's more how to play drums, and that's got nothing to do with recordings. So this is all new to me, obviously.
Mm.
So just trying to build something out of nothing, really.
Mm.
Just something that gives me a little bit of fun, and helps people out and helps me out,
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
what I like about the drums. It gets people into music.
Yeah.
I think music is very important.
Oh yes.
Um, and like if I hear a song, a lot of times if I really like it, I get goosebumps.
Mm.
It makes you feel something.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Music makes you feel something. It speaks
Yeah.
a language that goes deeper.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does. It
and
does.
the
Yeah.
drums especially.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with your electronic kit, is that a TD 17?
It's a TD11, so it's
TD.
yeah, one of the cheaper versions.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it works well for practicing, and also I
Practice.
have, as you probably noticed, that my videos I use that kit when I make
Mm,
my videos
yep.
because then the good thing with the digital kit is that I don't have to worry with all the stuff you have to worry about with all the different mics and to figure those things out because that just blows my mind. I cannot even begin to start doing what you are doing. So I
Yeah.
figured with the digital kit, everything is just easier. You just plug it into the sound card and your iPad, and there you go. So
And
it's
off you go. Exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
I've done a couple of covers, and I've done a Van Halen one, of a proper Van Halen one, not the one that I've got up there, but I'll put all the mistakes up as well. I don't try and pretend I'm something that I'm not. So when I do a drum cover, it's got mistakes. I drop sticks.
Cool.
You know,
I like
all
it.
everything goes in there. I don't edit it out. But with the rolling kit, I hit record, and it sounds almost like a CD. So you got any plans of going overseas again for music, like concerts or shows?
Yeah, well, not going overseas. I think I have nothing scheduled, but
Yeah.
in July I will have a 5-week tour around Norway, and I will play at
Okay.
many different conferences up north and down south, and yeah, so that is busy. July is like my busy month, and it's jumping from one conference or festival to another, basically.
Yeah.
So and I love that. I mean, it's exhausting, but it's also fantastic, and you meet so many different musicians, and many of them have become my friends during the years. So that's
Yeah.
amazing, also. Yeah. So yeah. So I look forward to it, definitely.
So what platform do you teach? Do you just do video or do you do one-on-one? How do you do your teaching?
Yeah, so and for now it's been videos on YouTube, and also I have some students, and I
Yeah.
meet them face to face. That's I have never actually taught people over Skype, or I
Hmm.
haven't tried that, but I'm sure I could do it if people want to do that,
Yeah.
obviously. But it's nothing that I have tried before. So
Okay.
yeah, I like the face to face thing when I teach, but of course I have learned so much from watching videos myself. So.
Yeah.
You could always do things through a
Yeah.
screen
Well, there's
as well.
there's a couple of things that I've watched and I've tried to do. It's like I need to go to bed, so I'll work on that another day.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so it's a bit yeah, it's a bit full on, and like yourself and Emma, you
Mm,
both do very simple things.
mm,
And it's like, oh, this is cool. And then I think one of the videos I saw you were doing something, I can't remember what it was. And then you go to the band playing and
yeah,
do it that, yeah. So it's like, oh, that's cool. So it
yeah,
gives you a bit of context and you can work
yeah,
out things, how to do it. And yeah, so that's great. It's a great way of learning and it makes it fun too.
yeah, yeah. I think so, and I love that to put things into context, because sometimes, or at least it's been my challenge when I just watch things on videos without the context. It's like, okay, how and where can I use this?
Mhm.
So if I
Yes.
happen to have a recording of something I'm doing in a band setting, then I will add it in.
Excellent.
So I'm very into tribal drumming, like using toms and ethnic music. I'm very into to like Latin grooves, and I know that I'm not doing them properly, but I'm trying to incorporate it into the way that I'm playing, and using toms more than bells, and to
Hmm.
create that Latin feel, but still like the tribal sounding thing. So that's really something that I try to always incorporate into the genres that I'm playing. No matter whether it's pop music or EDM, even
Yeah.
if it's heavy metal or whatever I play, I try to incorporate those elements. So and this has created like a signature. So sometimes when I get tired, that's people want that signature.
Yeah.
So it's my advice to all the drummers out there that really work on your signature and try to figure out, like, what do you want to express, what do you
Hmm.
want to release on the drums, and how do you want to sound. And so for me it's been many years of trying to discover like who I am, and what do I want to express, and what's my signature. And also using sticking patterns. I guess you guys can also see it when I teach that. I usually like to teach about sticking patterns or rudiments and how you can apply them. And I also
Hmm.
like to apply them in a tribal kind of way, tribal sounding. So that's like what I experiment with a lot,
Yeah.
trying to come out with new solutions and new sounds and new orchestrations that reflect what I carry in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Understand that. I'll put a link in everything.
yeah,
And,
that would
and
be great.
have you got any merchandise or anything like that, or that's a bit too early, or
So merchandise? Oh yeah, no merchandise. I don't have, unfortunately. Maybe that will come in the future.
that would be good. What about drumsticks? What drumsticks do you normally use? Before
Normally,
changes, I guess.
yeah, Vic Firth 5A often. That's yeah, very basic, and or the drum sticks 5A. But that's when I play more heavy things, because
Right.
the thing is that I am in many low volumes setting.
Yeah.
settings. So then I have something here. I can show you. Those are my homemade brooms. Or actually, I didn't make those. I got them from someone, but they are homemade. And I actually play a lot of like percussion kind of stuff on the toms. I also use often hand drums as toms. That's also one of my specialties. You can see in one of the videos, the low volume travel kit thing. And these are amazing for a low volume sound. But if you have reverb on the drums, then it sounds really amazing. And you bring out something very it's beautiful. It's just beautiful when you play the toms with these things. And I also use actually on the toms quite a lot these.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the mallets. These are
the mallets,
used a lot. And so and brushes, like you showed me that you have also bought a pair of brushes. And I use also these kind of broomsticks. They are a little bit smaller than the ones I first showed.
So we're made for you. Can you just show them how it all is, and I'll just bring it up? They're the ones you bought those?
Yes, these I bought. Yeah. So these are ProMark broomsticks, and they are awesome. If I also often play with my snare strainer off in low volume settings, and if you use this play 16th notes on the snare, for instance. It's an awesome sound, and it give you a good sound on the toms as well. Obviously, you need to mic the toms because they don't make a lot of sound.
Make a lot of voice, yeah.
So that's kind of, I have to like try to adapt my playing in a way into low volume settings and low volume gear, and that has become my specialty. However, I love to play the more heavy stuff on a big kit and on bigger stages and with heaps of sound, and so that's my dream, to do more of that kind of stuff. But I of course also love to do the low volume thing, and and also another thing, those are water that stick whip, so sticks on one side.
I haven't seen those ones.
Whip on the other, so then you can go from playing hard to just change, and then you'll get a totally different sound. So sound and texture and things like that, I have been experimenting with that a lot because I was forced to. So I cannot only stick to the 5/8. I actually had to like really find my way to how can I express myself without making too much noise, and to blend in with the other musicians and the setting, the genre that I'm playing. So these things are very, very important as well. So that's
the only ones I have these ones. So they're just the skewer type, the wood ones, and they're low volume as well. They're lower volume. They wouldn't be too low, but you still have you know exactly what they're like.
Yeah.
The ones I'm using, I have Vic Firth, but I use 5B. But I've been using these ones lately.
Okay, I've never heard of those.
They're from England.
Wow.
So
very thick. You can get a really heavy sound with those.
You can, and they're very long too.
Ooh.
So your normal drumstick, here we go. So that's an extreme 5A extreme. So they're already longer. That's a Vic Firth.
Yeah, that's a Vic Firth. Yeah.
Right. But so they're long as opposed to your normal length. Choose that.
So, okay. Yeah, that's they're longer for sure.
So so it just gives you a little bit more reach, and it just I mean, for me, I like to be easy. I don't want to have to reach out to hit a cymbal. I just if it's there, it's there, and I find that the easiest way to do it. When I found out about the long sticks when I spoke to Robert Sweet. Do you know Robert Sweet from Striper?
I don't think so. Striper, I know. Yeah. I
so
didn't know
from Striper. Yeah, he uses the extra long sticks.
Okay. Yeah, and you can hit harder with those, right? Because they're a little bit heavier, probably, or the pivot point is different.
But you don't have to reach as far, and that's the thing. So instead of having your elbow like that, you can have a more comfortable position.
Wow.
It's only an inch, but it's a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
And so you don't have the problems with the elbows or things like that. When I play, I usually play very, very heavy, so loud, and I put a lot of effort in, and I don't want to make it so when, you know, you don't want to be putting yourself in a bad position. You know, you want to be at nice posture, easy, and everything's just there. You don't want to have to reach for anything. So I always go for the long ones. I started off using the nylon head, the nylon tip, but I've gone back to wood.
Okay, so do you feel there's a big difference between
I
those?
think there is. The nylon tip for me was good for the ride cymbal, but it makes it more of a ping, a lot more attack. But the wood just calms it down a little bit. And when I found out in recording, it makes a big difference too.
Wow.
So you get it's a bit I've gone back to wood. So do you spend a lot of time with balance and making sure your drumsticks are paired properly, or do you just use the same ones?
Not so much. I'm not too occupied with drumsticks. Actually, I just play basically. Yeah. And because I have to use so many different kinds of drumsticks and low volume things, then I guess my focus is more like on the low volume part than the stick itself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, fair.
But I tried with the nylon because you know, the wooden tip it gets so easily
Damaged.
Yes. And the nylon will keep itself intact for a longer time. That's the only thing I've been thinking about when it comes to that. But I find it interesting how small changes, like just from changing from a nylon to a wooden, that you actually hear the difference. But yeah, it figures actually.
Yeah, it is a big difference, and I mean, it doesn't matter really. I mean, if you're using rim shots, it makes no difference, you know. But if you're concentrating on the tip, like even that on the glass, as you go to one, probably shouldn't use this one, but it's a big difference.
Yeah, it is. Interesting.
So, and then it's more of a duller noise. It's not as pingy, I call it. You know, it hasn't got as much ping to it. With the wooden tip, so it just smooths it out a bit. It's not as aggressive or hasn't got as much attack, if that makes sense. So
yeah, it makes sense. It's interesting, and also I the technique that we use for the sticks, that's probably what I've been more concerned with than the stick itself. The technique, like learning the molar technique, for instance, for me has like been a game changer. Also the way everything flows on the kit and just relaxing while I'm playing and get the big difference between the accents and the ghost notes, which is for me a huge thing, very important, that I think also makes the difference. That so that's been really cool to dive into the land of molar and all the different techniques and try to learn those and see how my drumming has developed during that journey into diving into these things. It's been amazing. So that's also something that I wanted to share with the viewers, that and you, of course, that's something awesome to dive into. Have you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm very one-dimensional. I always just standard, just very, very standard. I use these fingers.
Yeah, use fingers. Yeah, that you can play fast.
That's all I do. That's all I do. And you know, when you do a hit, that's one motion, but you get two notes out of it.
Yeah,
or you can
saves a lot of effort.
Yeah, it saves a lot of effort, and but that's something like and I'm still learning all this thing. It's not as if I'm a great drummer. I'm learning, and speaking with people like yourself, it just makes it, for me, okay, molar. So I don't know what molar is, what molar technique is. So now I can have a look at it. I've never heard of that. I've heard of traditional, which is that way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what molar is, so
Interesting. Yeah,
so
then you should really check it out. But it seems like you have something really good going on with your fingers there, so that's
yeah.
really awesome. I'm trying to also get better at using fingers because that's even more effortless and you can play faster and yeah. So, but it makes all the difference with good technique, and that because I wasn't like into that before. But then when I really understood that I actually need to work on my technique, then everything changed. It was a game changer
Yeah.
for me, I think. And I like to say that Moller changed my life. So it's worth
Well,
looking into.
oh,
I
for
don't
sure.
teach on Moller because I'm not like it's not like I'm a Moller expert. I just have tried to learn it, so I don't teach it. But there are people that are really good at it, and yeah, Inside Drumeo, for instance, they have courses. If any of the viewers here are members there, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but it's so cool.
Okay. No, it's
Take
fantastic.
some time to learn though.
Yeah, well, I'll certainly give it a go. I'll probably put an electronic kit on before I go to bed tonight, and have a bit of a play, and I'll quick YouTube look at molar technique and
Yeah,
see what happens. Yeah, no,
yeah, it will be
excellent.
interesting to hear what you think
Yeah,
about it.
yeah,
Uh,
well,
but maybe you're playing you are using it in a more unconscious way. That sometimes you
oh,
find
could
out
be.
when you check out a new technique that it's pretty close to what I'm doing. So maybe you are just doing it without
Yeah,
knowing it. That's also possible.
that's very possible. Especially with me, I change my technique all the time. So
Yeah.
even with double kick, I sometimes I'm heel up, sometimes I'm heel down, and
Mm.
uh, so anyway, learning. It's all
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
so.
and knowing the different techniques and knowing that they exist, like yeah, the heel down and the swivel, and that you know those exist, and then you try them out and try to figure out what fits you the better because we are different, right? So that's also something I figured out, something that works for an awesome drummer that I like to watch. It doesn't work for me, but something else worked for me, and then I
Yeah.
can do more of the difficult stuff, and yeah, so it's
Mhm.
just a whole world for us to explore.
It is, and
Yeah.
even the seat height, like
Mm,
how high you sit or how low.
yeah.
Nico McBrain from Iron Maiden, he sits very low.
Mm-hmm.
His knees
Yeah.
are right up, and a friend of mine, he plays very high. The seat's all the way to the top,
Mm.
and so it's like, well, I played once on his kit,
Mm.
and just for the sound check, and he was all the way up to the top. I didn't change anything, and it's like, well, this is more comfortable.
Yes.
Well, I'm
Yes.
sort of in the middle
Yeah.
normally, but it's like it makes sense because you want your leg, especially for the double kick, to fall down. You don't
Mm.
want to put too much effort into it.
Mm.
And,
So true.
so I've found while raising it, I've stepped forward a bit more,
Mm.
and the leg straight away goes down.
Mm.
It's just a bit hard to do rim shots because you keep hitting your thigh.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a problem. There are so many issues with this, like, and also
Yeah,
the distance between the hi hat and the snare.
yeah.
So that you will not get this from the snare. There are
And
things
you
that
try open hand and yeah, but all these things, but it's fun. It's still fun. So
it's still fun, and I
so
think that's yeah, it boils down to this one thing that it's fun. It's supposed to be fun, and you can study like for hours different techniques and things and way to do it. And but I guess the bottom line is that if you don't find that to be fun, then don't do it. Just have fun while playing. I'm a nerd, so I like to study all these things. But for people who are not, then it's
yeah.
better just to have fun and play along with songs like you also talked about, and you can make drum covers and just play along to music. I do that a lot. That's of course the way I learn songs for my gigs. But I
Mhm.
also like that in general because it's just good. It's playful and it's fun and it's very much like the setting that you will use it anyway.
Yes,
So
yes,
it's good
yeah.
practice.
I mean, if you're sitting there reading drum music, for me, I can't read it. But if I was to read it, I'd be concentrating too much on the music, then putting the feel into the drums.
Mm,
Because yeah, you got to hit the tom. Yes, okay, you hit the tom, and then you got to hit the snare, and then you hit the ride or the hi-hat or whatever you got to hit. But it's almost robotic for me until you learn the song. Once you learn the song, obviously, then you get the the feel of it.
Yeah.
But read it, it's very hard, and I can't do that. So, well, I can't. No, I can't. I haven't learned how to do that yet. So, it makes it hard. But anyway.
Yeah.
No,
Work in progress. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, sorry, I had more on my heart, so I just had to.
No, that's no problem. Thanks again for jumping on and having a chat with us, and sharing your experiences, and yeah, it's been fun, and yeah, it's really great. And what I'll do is I'll put all your links in the description so other people can have a look, and contact you if they want drum lessons.
Yeah.
See what they can do, and what you can organise with them, and yeah, and if you come with any merch, if you come out with any merch, then we can we can add that to the description at some point too.
Yeah, cool. That's great. Thank you so much. I love what you're doing here, and so nice having a chat about the drums. And, yeah, absolutely. Nice to meet you as well. So good luck with your drumming.
Nice to meet you too.
Everything.
Yeah.